I'm not saying anything. I've said everything I want to say about these two men in the past, so you know what? I'm done. I'm not saying anything about them. They can let their actions speak for themselves. No surprise whatsoever that Mark Bravura has stolen the microphone. Dear God, make it quick.
From the cabinet of the wrestling world.
So much for that.
Memphis. By God, Tennessee. The reigning and defending greatest alpha champion in history. And the man who will end Sean Denny's NWA Fusion career. The Mempho.
Thank goodness.
And his opponent from Richmond, Virginia, weighing at 225 pounds, please welcome Brandon Day!
Now here's a wrestler I'll be more than happy to talk about while he's entering the ring. Brandon Day, seen across the globe, experience on national television. He's been here in NWA Fusion in the past. We most recently saw him in tag team competition with Sean Denny against Mark Bravura and Mike Booth. And I am glad to see Brandon Day in action here tonight, once again against Mark Bravura. The last time we saw these two men meet up in singles competition, Mark Bravura injured Brandon Day's knee. I don't think he'll be able to have that same prowess once again, as in just a few weeks at Shanghai Showdown, Mark Bravura in the ladder match. It's Alpha title versus Sean Denny's career. Mark Bravura versus Sean Denny, but tonight, Sean Denny's student, Brandon Day, will be stepping in the ring with Mark Bravura. And Spencer Chestnut, it's so good to see a friendly face finally.
Absolutely. You know I love doing this. I'm glad to be with you, Justin. Cameron, and you know, there's a guy that looks just like you named Justin
that
I work with, and I just don't know why I keep getting you two confused.
It's okay.
but right now what we're going to do is I'm not confused about what's coming up now. Brandon Day is getting another shot because I told Brandon Day, look, Mark Bravura, he cheated you, he bamboozled you last time, and you deserve another shot to show us what you've got here against Mark Bravura.
And not only that, but this is a good opportunity We saw how Horror Show softened up Jimmy Cicero from Volstagg. This is a great opportunity for Brandon Day to soften up Mark Bravura for his mentor, Sean Denny.
Yeah, that's right. I wasn't going to have Sean Denny have to have a match and then have Mark Bravura just skate through tonight with nothing.
Yeah, Sean Denny had to take out 2 executioners tonight, constantly switching back and forth. Mark Bravura is very lucky he's only got 1 Brandon Day to deal with, but even 1 Brandon Day is extremely dangerous.
Yeah, because 1 Brandon Day's got 2 fists, and he's using them both on Mark Bravura right now.
Brandon Day seen across the world on top of NWA Fusion. We've seen him in Ring of Honor. It's very good to see him in action here. And he's pounding away on Mark Bravura.
And I bet people around are loving this right now. You can hear the fans are loving every second of this. And I know Sean Denny's loving it whenever Mark Bravura gets beat up.
And Scott Williams being rather lenient in the corner. But you know what? That's okay. It's just Mark Bravura.
Absolutely. Everybody rejoices when he gets beat up. Look at him go. Brandon Day really showing us something tonight. What a great, great athlete.
Brandon Day right now taking his time. Very methodical in his approach in this bout thus far, and that makes sense. You've got to keep it at your own pace. It's a pace that you're comfortable with. He tried that high-speed attack against Mark Bravura before, and it didn't work out so well for him, so it's smart of him to change up that game plan. Brandon Day with a boot into the face of Mark Bravura, who's wobbly right now, and Mark Bravura goes down with a simple gust of wind.
Absolutely. We're glad to see him down right now because, I mean, what he's done to Sean Denny, I couldn't believe it. Oh, here goes Brandon Day for the cover. It's unconscionable, and I had to make this ladder match. I mean, I know he broke Marky D's leg, and I know people all over the world were hurt. They wrote letters to Marky D in the hospital. My God, Marky D's fiancée even ruined her mascara that day. I couldn't believe it. It was wrong. It was bad, and there's something that needs to be done about it, and that's going to be a ladder match next month.
It's important to note Shanghai Showdown is the Alpha title against Sean Denny's NWA Fusion career. Spencer, I know you didn't want to sign that match, but
there's nothing I could do. I told him I'd suspend him. I told him I'd fire him. He didn't care.
Yep. And right now he's getting a little bit of punishment on the outside. Brandon Day with a blistering chop to the chest. Mark Bravura tried to break it, but there's a T-shirt being rubbed in the face of Mark Bravura. Knee lift by Mark Bravura. Now he's throwing Brandon Day into the ring, and I really don't think Mark Bravura cares if he wins this match. I think he cares more about hurting Brandon Day at this point. That seems to be his MO. Every wrestler he gets in the ring with, he doesn't care if he wins. He just wants to hurt him.
I think so, too. And next month, when they fight for that NWA Alpha title on a ladder, wow, Mark Bravura might be taking a fall like that when he fights on the ladder and worse. But, what not a lot of people are talking about. There's a lot of skill involved. There's a lot of risk involved. But there's also a bit of luck and a bit of chance involved. If you can climb up that ladder quicker than your opponent, if you fall down too far away from where the ladder is and your opponent gets up there, he could win real quick. So I don't know if either one of them, Sean Denny or Mark Bravura, have thought about that, but I know Brandon Day's thought about tearing Mark Bravura up. He is tearing him up one side and down the other tonight.
Headbutt sending Bravura staggering. Bravura tried for a punch. Brandon Day looked like he blocked a little bit of it. And Bravura pounding away on Brandon Day. And I'm starting to wonder if Mark Bravura maybe has gotten too cocky and he's looked past Brandon Day, with the exception of this brief flurry of offense. And there you see it right there. Brandon Day has had total control of this bout.
Yeah, I think Mark Bravura really wants that match with Sean Denny. He wants it to be over with. And Mark Bravura, he's just ornery enough to have thought of something like that. When I was talking about the element of surprise, element of luck and risk before, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got something up his sleeve. But I tell you, it doesn't matter what he's got up his sleeve. No countouts, no disqualification. He's not going to run this time.
Well, we saw Marcus King Kong Dowling trying to interfere.
He's still trying to interfere.
Oh! And Brandon Day slingshots Mark Bravura to the floor.
And Mark Bravura in a familiar place right now, right on top of Marcus Dowling.
Spencer Chestnut's comments do not necessarily represent those of NWA Fusion or its staff. Brandon Day now climbing up the turnbuckles. We've seen Brandon Day dive off there with absolutely no fear in the past. I don't suspect this time it'll be any different. Here he goes.
He flew right on top of both of them. Brandon Day, again, willing to do whatever it takes here at NWA Fusion. I really like this guy.
Brandon Day is a heck of a talent. I'm glad you brought him back in, and he's been right in the mix ever since he came back.
He sure has, and he's one to watch out for in the future, and actually for Mark Bravura to watch out for right now.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I'm wondering maybe Mark Rivera overlooked Brandon Day, and Brandon Day is far too dangerous of a competitor for anybody to overlook. I'll give Mark Rivera his credit. He's an extremely talented wrestler. But if he overlooked Brandon Day, he's going to lose today, period.
He sure is. But again, I'm not so sure he cares about that. I know he doesn't want to get hurt. I know he might want to hurt Brandon Day, but I'm not sure he cares so much about the result of this match. And again, like you said, he might be overlooking Brandon Day, and that would be a fatal mistake.
Mark Rivera trying to beg off Brandon Day, wants none of it. Grasped him for the handshake, and now he's kicking him in the gut. Brandon Day with another punch. A well-placed punch by Brandon Day in a second one. Scott Williams once again being lenient with the rules, and once again, it's just Mark Rivera. Who cares? Rivera, though, caught the up and over. And a guillotine right onto the top rope. Sort of a swinging hot shot, if you will.
And it looks like it's knocked the wind out of Brandon Day. I mean, that hurts anybody that's had something go across their throat at a high rate of speed. You know it hurts.
Especially against the steel cables that form our ropes at a high velocity right across the esophagus. And I think Mark Rivera, if he was overlooking him before, he's not now. He's tearing away at Brandon Day, swinging neckbreaker.
He's either really mad or really scared, and either one of them leads you to do desperate things, and he really is going after Brandon Day right now. Got a 2 count. Brandon Day kicks right out.
Brandon Day getting clubbed in the chest by Mark Rivera right now. And a knee drop right across the esophagus and the throat once again.
I think it's kind of a mistake to ask the fans who you don't like. And here's a staple of Memphis wrestling, the rear chin lock.
It's amazing that he constantly goes to those staples. Perhaps an eye gouge would be next.
It's no snapmare.
Brandon Day getting up to his feet, punching away. Day off the ropes, and Mark Rivera caught him with the elbow.
Every time Brandon Day looks like he's coming back up, Mark Rivera puts him down, but I bet you Brandon Day isn't done yet. He's going to dig deep, and I think he'll have more to say and to do to Mark Rivera before this match is over.
Scott Williams was complaining of a hair pull. Mark Rivera let go, and now he's rammed Brandon Day into the turnbuckles. Well-measured punch there by Mark Rivera, who's now doing a little bit of a shuffle, and a second punch. He needs to make sure he doesn't focus on showboating. He needs to focus on attack. Leapfrog back rake by Brandon Day. And he's dropped the strap.
He doesn't even have a strap and he dropped it. That's ridiculous. And here comes Brandon Day. He's not having any more of these shenanigans, tomfoolery, and chicanery.
But Brandon Day went right into a punch. Mark Rivera sized him up and took a long time to cover. I don't see this one. Yeah, I didn't see this one ending, considering how long it took Mark Rivera to make that cover.
No, I don't see it ending anytime soon either. These two, they do have a lot of stamina, a lot of athletic skill. Unless somebody gets something quick on the other one, like this sunset flip he's trying.
And he pulled the tights down.
Oh, he kicks out at 2. A 2 count only, Cameron.
Oh, big boot by Mark Rivera. And Brandon Day, I think he may have been knocked cold. If Mark Rivera covered him, I think he could get the win here.
Ain't that a kick in the head?
Truer words were never spoken, Spencer.
I know.
Mark Rivera right now focusing on punishing Brandon Day. He's not going for the win. He's going after the head of Brandon Day.
Just methodically calculating cold. It's colder than an ex-girlfriend.
He's biting
right there. And even biting. Is there no depths to which this man won't stoop? It's getting worse than an alimony hearing in that ring.
And Rivera spit, and it looked like it almost hit our cameraman, Dave Lane. Totally uncalled for behavior, especially now that he's stomping away at the sternum in the corner.
I'm just hoping the referee keeps control. Mark Rivera, he's bending the rules, not totally breaking them yet, but that referee, he's doing a good job of keeping control so far. And Brandon Day looks like he's getting back a second win. And yes, here he comes.
He's going for a crucifix, perhaps.
Rivera going for the ropes, he didn't get it. Here comes the referee for the count. 2 count only. Mark Rivera back up.
Rivera with a back elbow, though, catches Day right in the jaw. And you got to think with the amount of punishment these two are dishing out, this match can't be lasting too much. Wait a second. Oh, come on. A chain from the boot.
That's definitely a staple of Memphis wrestling.
It's got a chain that he pulled
Every
out of his
wrestling
boot.
training diploma in Memphis comes with one of those.
Really?
Absolutely.
I wasn't aware they had diplomas. I didn't know that many people from Memphis graduated.
If you drive through Memphis and roll down your windows, they'll throw a wrestling diploma in your car.
Kind of dangerous when you think about
Hey,
it.
guess he's choking. He's choking him with the chain.
Choking away Brandon Day, and Scott Williams distracted.
Mark, that choking chicken. I can't believe it. That choking chicken.
Marcus Dowling had Scott Williams distracted. What? And he's got Brandon Day's hat on.
Looking like one of the village people in there and dancing like one of them too. Maybe next he's going to join the Navy or the YMCA.
Brandon Day with a punch to the stomach and a second. Third one coming up and a fourth. Now he's got that hat and he headbutted Mark Bravura. Bravura catches him. An airplane spin. That's some classic wrestling for you. But I think Bravura with the love loofah. And a clothesline sends Brandon Day down. More embarrassing than actually
he
painful.
May be out now. Oh no, Brandon Day still got some fight left. He's still got some left. I knew he wouldn't just give up.
Yeah, Brandon Day is a very, very resilient competitor. We've seen it in the past. I mean, you would expect resilience from a wrestler that was trained by Sean Denny.
Absolutely. Sean Denny, again, a great wrestler, a great trainer too. Brandon Day has learned well from him, and he is holding his own in this match. Oh, now he's just insulting him.
Yeah, see,
that's just going to make him mad. That's not going to wear him out.
Exactly. He's got the advantage. Why would he?
Oh no! Oh no! A snapmare! A snapmare! This is getting ugly.
Brandon Day now getting pounded on with forearms. Scott Williams stepping in to make sure those are not punches. Either way, it's highly unscrupulous to assault a man when he's down like that.
Unscrupulous, unethical, and just downright wrong.
Absolutely.
Like people wearing fuchsia just barely at the end of winter.
Fargo elbow.
The Fargo elbow.
Connects by Mark Bravura. Lackadaisical to get to that cover. And only a 2 count. Brandon Day still showing signs of life. Bravura slapping Day, shouting at him to quit. I don't know if we're going to hear Brandon Day say that. Brandon,
no, like I said, he just made him mad. He's going to town on him
exactly.
in the corner there.
Brandon Day sending Bravura off. Took a little time there, and took too much time. Bravura caught him with the back elbow.
If he's thinking about going to the top rope, Mark Bravura's already taking too much time. He's being so cocky and so arrogant, I mean, which is, him.
Yep, and he's taking his sweet time to get up there, too. And Brandon Day caused Bravura to lose his footing on the turnbuckle there.
Crazy. And it is totally nuts in that ring right now. There's nothing like NWA Fusion.
Brandon Day now setting up Mark Bravura for a superplex, perhaps. Brandon Day is getting assaulted by Bravura. These two men are fighting up on the high rent district, as it was. You can hear those thuds of flesh and bone connecting.
He's going all the way up to the top. This is going to be
top rope superplex by Brandon Day, but the reverberation of the ring looks like it may have taken something out of Brandon Day. When you connect with that ring mat, it'll bounce back up and catch you if you're not hitting at the same exact time. He may have knocked himself out.
I said that was a loud, thunderous shatter in that ring. That had more impact than the end of the As the World Turns episode. I'm telling you, those guys are hurting in there right now.
As the World Turns, you still watch that?
Every day.
Bravura tried for the punch. Brandon Day's blocking. He does it a second time, connects with the elbow. Now he's punching away. Bravura trying desperately to cover up, but he's too wobbly right now. Back elbow by Day. And a forearm. Russian leg sweep connects. Brandon Day rolling to his feet. Perhaps he's going to go for a grounded lariat. and he connects. Brandon Day folds up Mark Bravura. I don't know why he pulled him out of the stack. And Mark Bravura able to kick out. Spencer, he had him stacked up after that clothesline.
He sure did. What I've always told you about pressing that advantage, and there's that little delay might have cost him today.
Well, that exploder suplex may have made up for the delay that he had. There's the cover. And Mark Bravura, you know, Mark Bravura, for all of his downfalls, he's extremely resilient. You have to give him credit for his resilience.
I never said he wasn't a good wrestler. I just said I hate him. There's a difference.
Well, obviously, I mean, I think we can both admit that he has his qualities that we can't stand.
Absolutely. Like, you know, he exists. He shows up every month here and annoys us.
Brandon Day was trying for a chicken wing DDT, but Mark Bravura.
Like that. It's talent like that. As much as he annoys us, that's why he's here.
Yep.
That's why we wanted him in the first place. Brandon Day looks like his foot's outside the ring, but it doesn't matter. He kicked out anyway.
Yeah,
looked like his foot was under the ropes, but he went ahead and kicked out.
Brandon Day opting not to take the easy way out, instead kicking out after Mark Bravura rolled the dice. And Bravura's got to be wondering what's left in that arsenal that he can use to put Brandon Day down.
Marcus Dowling outside the ring, seething like a 2-year-old without his pacifier.
Setting up for the time machine, but Brandon Day trying to elbow his way out, and he succeeds. Pump handle perhaps coming up. Pump handle power slam by Brandon Day.
Let's see what he does. Now, we haven't seen too much of Marcus Dowling in the match, but he's right next to Brandon Day. Didn't do anything, but Brandon Day connects with the moonsault. We'll see if he can cover him. There he goes.
Oh, but
and only two.
Mark
only two.
Bravura.
You've always got to keep an eye on Marcus Dowling. We
That's
haven't heard
true.
from him too much in the match. I saw him throwing a tantrum over there, and then Brandon Day went up right near where he was. I thought he might get involved, but he opted not to.
Brandon Day with an incredible moonsault. Mark Bravura was barely able to get that shoulder out. You know, Brandon Day has so much talent, it's almost limitless, the amount of talent that he has. Oh! But he may have re-injured his knee there. He went for a diving knee strike, and Bravura with the Mofo toe hold, he's got it locked in. And Brandon Day trying not to give in.
I don't know if he can hold on.
And it looks like,
he's still fighting. He's still fighting.
It looked like he passed out for a moment there.
I don't know. Nobody's lasting too long in this.
The Mofo toe hold is absolutely deadly, but Brandon Day's made the ropes. And Mark Bravura breaking the hold.
Well, it looks like Marcus Dowling taught Mark Bravura how to throw that tantrum that he was doing earlier.
Oh, I don't think Mark Bravura needed any help learning how to throw a tantrum. He seems to do that naturally on his own. Forearm to the back in a second. There's a third.
Oh, no, a snapmare. A snapmare. This is kidding. This is going too far. Not a snapmare again. And there's that chain again. I hope he doesn't choke him again. Mark Bravura, I'll say it again. Mark Bravura is a choking chicken. You understand me? He needs to not do that. The referee needs to stop this.
Well, Scott Williams trying to see if Brandon Day wants to continue. He does not see that chain was wrapped around the fist. He goes for the punch. 1 foot drop kick there by Brandon Day. And Mark Bravura dropped that chain.
Brandon Day's got the chain. Let's see what he's going to do with it. I wouldn't do that. The referee's looking right at you, Brandon. I wouldn't do it.
I don't think at this point Brandon Day cares. Because Bravura's cheated pretty much all throughout this match. Scott Williams stopping him from punching with the chain.
He had another chain. He's got another chain.
Marcus Dowling passed him a second chain. No, no, no! Damn it!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, the Mempho Mofo, Mark Bravura.
Yet another depth for this goon to step down to. Unbelievable.
I tell you what, Mark Bravura has yanked our chains for the last time. Next month, chains are legal, chairs are legal, throwing your mama in